You're on Open Exchange. Nigeria regained democracy in 1999 after elections. However, corruption remains a key concern for that growing economy. And CNBC Africa's Wole Famarewa spoke with CEO of RTC Advisory Services, Opeyemi Agbaje, about the challenges that corruption poses to this young democracy.
Much of the problems we're dealing with are the negative legacy of military. I always argue that if you had that triumvirate, that triple structure in which you had a government that was not accountable, dependent on a resource that it didn't produce and was not accountable to the people, and it formed an alliance with the bureaucracy and the civil service, which was also not accountable, which was what governed Nigeria for decades under military rule, the civil servants and the soldiers and the oil companies. Essentially, corruption was inevitable. You had to alter one of those elements, either put a democratic government that is accountable, or make the oil sector accountable, transparent, or make bureaucrats accountable. But insofar as those three continued, it was inevitable that you have corruption.
What's the outlook?
But we haven't dealt with that.
Change?
Now, I think that the culture of democracy, which as I pointed out earlier has not gone deeply enough, is what can resolve that. But we don't have the quality we need, so we need a long time. We need a long time of getting used to accountability, openness, transparency, of people holding their institutions to account, of those institutions themselves maturing.
Right.
But otherwise, I mean, the simple fact of it, if I would be blunt, is probably corruption will be with us for longer than we wish. But over time, as the democracy endures and the institutions are deepened and the culture of democracy gets stronger, then we'll be able to hold the corrupt to account.
But will business be able to thrive in this culture, in your view?
Business will thrive. Business thrives. Unfortunately, business thrives many places in the world. It thrived in Indonesia, it thrives in India, it thrives in Russia. And you probably have levels of corruption in all of those places. It thrives. So yeah, business will thrive. It will do a markup for corruption, or it would have a cost. It will have a consequence. But it will thrive because the potential of Nigeria is so huge. The returns are potentially so significant that businesses will still find many sectors of our economy attractive.
Right. One more question will be the cost of democratic structures. It's something that has come up quite a bit, and it seems it's still with us. We continue to hear the likes of the central bank calling for fiscal consolidation. The democratic structures are one of the areas that we anticipate really needs that change.
Again,
so your thoughts on that point?
It's a legacy of the military. The military met 4 regions in Nigeria, created 36 states. Unfortunately, under them, those 36 states didn't have a legislature and didn't have a proper executive. You just had the military governor who could run government as he pleased. He didn't have to appoint political advisor, economic advisor, special assistant. He had commissioners, but they were basically functioning like civil servants at his beck and call. And he could do with 10 of them. He wasn't under pressure to appoint a 40-man cabinet.
So we've seen that move into our democratic structure.
But now we've carried on 36 states, 774 local governments created also by the military, into a democratic structure in which we have one House of Assembly, one 40-man cabinet in virtually every state, even at the local government level, a legislature, an executive structure, and the cost has turned the current expenditure to 70% of our budget. It's a major debilitating factor, and it's one factor for poverty and unemployment because 70% of resources are devoted to maintaining a bureaucracy. So that's something we'll have to deal with. Unfortunately, because of how dysfunctional our democracy has become, the debate is about even creating more states rather than doing something about the current expenditure. So we'll have to deal with that at some point.